welcome to our English news edition, coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. On the occasion of recovering sovereignty on the Algerian television and radio, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, extends his congratulations for these two media companies' employees. The proceedings of the Economic and Social Council of the Arab League winds up with the adoption of 24 clauses to be submitted to the next Arab Summit. The Arab Foreign Affairs ministers start arriving to Algiers to take part in the Algiers Arab League Summit. And the Palestinians celebrate the outbreak of the Algerian Liberation War, denoting the strong ties existing between the two brotherly countries. Good evening, those with today's top stories. First, in our news, and via his Twitter account, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, said that on October the 28th, 1962, the martyrs and war veterans' commitment is renewed on the occasion of the recovery of national sovereignty on the Algerian television and radio. Congratulations to the journalists and employees of these two media companies on this special occasion. Algeria celebrated on Friday the 60th anniversary of recovering sovereignty on the radio and television. The Communication Minister, Mohamed Bouslimani, chaired over a ceremony held in tribute to the journalists and technicians that were up to the challenge 60 years ago. The ceremony was organized in the presence of the General Director of the Public Television, Sha'ban Lonakel, and the General Director of the National Radio, Mohamed Baghali. On this occasion, a wreath of flowers was laid at the headquarters of the National Television in memory of the martyrs of Juri. The proceedings of the Economic and Social Council wound up with the adoption of 24 clauses to be submitted to the summit's meeting. More details with Manal Amari.
The economy and trade ministers of Arab countries. The issue of ensuring food security among Arab countries was discussed. The Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abul Ghait, sounded the alarm. To him, the indicators of food security in Arab countries declined over the past few years.
To face the current food challenges, we're asking you to review the documents at your disposal. They include a global vision which will enable us to achieve the desired food security if applied.
According to the Trade and Export Promotion Minister, Arab countries must move quickly to create an Arab free trade zone to overcome these challenges.
It is necessary to set up an Arab economic union to protect our citizens. It should be noted that the creation of the Arab Free Trade Zone requires the removal of all obstacles which hinder bilateral commercial exchanges, including the creation of the Arab Customs Union.
For her part, the Tunisian Trade Minister called for the increase of trade exchanges between Arab countries.
Despite of all the potentialities of the Arab countries, commercial exchanges between them only represent 10% of the overall trade. This meeting is an opportunity to draw the lessons and to better prepare to face future challenges.
The development of a global vision to achieve food self-sufficiency and relying more on new technologies, as well as the development of a new agricultural Arab strategy, are some of the challenges that must be faced.
The main clauses and recommendations of Friday's meetings were unveiled by the Trade Minister, Kamal Razik, during a press briefing, the details of which we will learn with Sabrin Tefrganit.
24 recommendations are to be submitted to the meeting of the Foreign Affairs Ministers, according to the Trade Minister. It was a fruitful and interesting dialogue. The recommendations concern directly the Arab citizen, starting with ensuring food safety. One of the objectives of this meeting is to remove the hurdles in order to facilitate the implementation of these resolutions. It was also the occasion for national and international media to ask some questions. For Haifa Abu Ghazala, the implementation of these recommendations is a priority in order to address the concerns of Arab citizens.
أتقدم بالشكر والتقدير باسم الأمان العام من جامعة الدول العربية.
I extend the gratitude appreciations on behalf of the General Secretariat of the Arab League to the Algerian Republic for all the efforts deployed for the success of this meeting. There are several economic and social clauses. All of them concern Arab citizens, especially during this harsh situation. The current summit is an important one because it came after 2 years. I hope that it would be successful and marked with solidarity.
لأنها تأتي بعد عامين من انقطاع وإن شاء الله إحنا نطلع إلى قمة ناجحة.
The recommendations of the Socio-Economic Council concerning Arab ministers of trade and economy aims to give real dynamics to the economic ties linking the Arab countries.
The interventions of the presidents of the Arab delegations participating in the meeting focused on the need for a joint action to face up the current challenges, above all, food security. Rania Al-Bahri reports.
The food security challenge against the backdrop of developments recorded on the international scene was one of the important topics of the preparatory meeting of the Board Economic and Social with regard to the financial resources and the economic potentialities of Arab countries in the field of agriculture, energy, tourism and mines. The representatives of the Arab countries emphasized the importance of a joint Arab action to achieve food self-sufficiency. Palestine hopes to move towards a strategy with the aim of supporting and transforming this sector into an important one, and developing the Palestinian economy and integrating it into regional and international markets. We renew our commitment and our efforts to serve the interests of our country and complete common work through talks and to ensure security and stability. The Arab countries are among the largest regional pools that import food. It is also a pool that records a relative lack of food security. Therefore, it is important to pay particular attention to this sector. During this preparatory meeting, it was noted that the economic indicators show that 50% of the food needs of the Arab countries are imported outside the Arab trading area, while 45% are imported from Russia and Ukraine. It is important to intensify trade between Arab countries, as we see that the success of trade and customs policies, as well as the lifting of administrative obstacles and the guarantee of goods between Arab countries, is one of the most important steps. The world economy is facing challenges and an unprecedented situation, particularly with regard to food security. I would like to emphasize the importance to continue efforts to strengthen the joint work of Arab countries. A new opportunity to strengthen Arab cohesion and bring economic and trade integration to advanced levels, which would strengthen our Arab economies and their ability to create new growth prospects, particularly in this situation.
The Arab Foreign Affairs ministers start arriving to hold their meeting, prepare the summit's agenda and examine the draft resolution. Najah Tayyar tells us more.
On the sidelines of the Arab Economic and Social Council proceedings, the Foreign Affairs Minister Mtala Mamra met with his Kuwaiti counterpart Sheikh Salim Abdullah Al Jabir Al Sabah with the aim of consolidating coordination between the delegations of the two countries and making a success of the ministerial preparatory meeting of the Council of the Arab States League. The Minister of Foreign Affairs also met with his Tunisian counterpart Othman Jerandi. Several files of common interest were reviewed. We have exchanged our views concerning the next Arab summit. Tunisia will be happy to hand over the presidency to the President Abdelmajid Tebboune, and we are fully confident that Algeria will carry out this mission with merit, especially since it has proven on the occasions its merit in managing of public affairs and Arab issues and defending the Arab interests. He also had a meeting with his Libyan counterpart Najla Al-Mengouche. We discussed common issues and we agreed on the working mechanism to make this summit a great success. That's our hope. The head of the Algerian diplomacy had talks with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Palestine, Riyad al-Maliki, as well. I met today my brother, my counterpart and friend, the Minister Mtal Amamra, and during our meeting we have discussed the same files, and our goal is the success of the Algeria summit. The proceedings of the meeting of the Foreign Affairs Ministers of the Council of the Arab States League kick off on Saturday to discuss and prepare the summit's agenda.
In an exclusive interview with our reporter Letiza Sidqawi, the Palestinian Foreign Affairs Minister Riyad al-Maliki expressed his delight for the importance attached to the Palestinian cause and voiced his confidence in Algeria's efforts. Let's have a listen.
But, we are expecting the reconfirmation of what's really obvious, that, the issue of Palestine stays as the core issue for all the Arabs, the central issue for all the Arabs, and to reconfirm their commitment to continue providing the support that the Palestinian cause needs at the Arab and at the international levels in order for us to be able to succeed in achieving our main objectives. We are confident that Algeria, as the chair of the summit, will do its utmost, as it has done before, in order really to put emphasis on the Palestinian issue among many other Arab issues, and to put it as a priority within the summit. We are confident of that.
In another exclusive interview, also with our reporter Letiza Sidqawi, the Lebanese Foreign Minister Abdullah Al-Habib was optimistic about the success of the Algiers summit. Let's have a listen to him.
First, Lebanon is happy that the Arab summit is being held now. It hasn't been held for the last few years because of COVID and other problems with mainly COVID. And it's being held in Algeria, and Algeria has been, for the last year, doing a lot of effort in order to have that this meeting would be successful. One of the things it did, first I would thank the hospitality of the Algerian government and the people, because we see it at the airport when we arrive, we see it everywhere here in the city.
In other news, the permanent representative of Algeria to the United Nations, Nadir Al-Arbawi, categorically denied the information published by certain Moroccan press reporting the participation of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic in the proceedings of the next Arab Summit. Al-Arbawi said that such information is disturbing and aims to disrupt the work of the Arab Summit. Let's have a listen.
هذا الخبر الصادر عن وسائل الإعلام المغربية احنا معتادين على مثل هذه.
We are used to such fake and misleading information reported by the Moroccan press. I am surprised by this strange news, given that the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic is not a member of the League of the Arab States, and I definitely reject this information stating that the President of the Sahrawi Republic is not concerned by this summit. I think that the purpose of this fake and misleading information is to disturb the Arab Summit and attempt to make it fail, especially that the signs of its success are visible.
Palestine now, where the Palestinian people are celebrating the anniversary of the outbreak of the Algerian National Liberation War, showcasing the strong bonds existing between the two brotherly peoples. Story by our reporter in Palestine, Wissam Abu Zaid, taken up by Ines Killo.
A few days before celebrating the 68th anniversary of the outbreak of the glorious Liberation War, a milestone that the Friends of Algeria celebrates in Gaza School to express their attachment to Algeria.
We celebrate the 60th anniversary of the outbreak of the Algerian Revolution so that the future generations of Palestinians will take it as an example, the country of 1.5 million martyrs.
During this day, an exhibition was organized to commemorate the occasion.
It was easy for us to find and recover pieces of Algerian heritage from the Palestinian families, because the Algerian and Palestinians are one. That is why we were able to organize this exhibition. The Algerian Revolution is an example to follow. I hope we will win like them. The country of martyrs is an example for us. It has always supported us. Algeria is in our hearts and will be forever.
A symbolic day that demonstrates the strong ties uniting the two brotherly countries.
And we wrap up our today's news edition with the Palestinian file. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on the human rights situation in the occupied territories said that the approaches of the international community to resolve the conflict in the Middle East serve to normalize the occupation. Francesca Albanese called on the occasion for the end of the expansionist Zionist project. The report presented to the UN General Assembly concluded that the Zionist occupation violates the territorial sovereignty by seizing, annexing, fragmenting and transferring its civilians to the occupied territories. And with that, our today's news edition comes to a close. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.